Hello and welcome to another episode of the Metal Evangelist. Today we'll be preaching from the book of death metal. I've got 4 CDs to show you guys from bands that are well worth your time. So let's begin. First off, Sapremia is a band from New Jersey. They play an old school style of death metal. Here's their new album called An Autumn Moon. It was released on Butchered Records. And these guys really are old school. They came about in the early 90s and put out a couple of demos and then dissolved. But in 2006 they got back together, put out an EP, put out a debut full-length, and this is their second full-length. Show you the back. It's got about 8 songs, I think, on Butchered Records. And this is some punishing old school death metal. These guys, they don't use sweep picking or endless blast beats or pig squeals, any of that stuff. You can just count on solid riffs, really catchy stuff, and it just makes you want to throw your fist in the air and bang your head. So I would recommend checking out Sapremia with An Autumn Moon. Next up, kind of a different style, band called Monotheist from Florida. They put out an EP, here's the cover artwork, called Genesis of Perdition. Now these guys put out a full length a couple years back, and it was really good. It kind of reminded me of Intestine Ballism, where it's got the old school Swedish sort of thing going on with the melodic parts. But now they're adding in some more of the newer elements, like I was talking about, more modern technical riffs. Sometimes you get the concrete block scraping pig squeal style vocals, but it sort of alternates. Like one track will be old school with melody, and then the other one will be more brutal with the vocals. So kind of a little bit of both worlds if you're into that. Back of the CD here, it's got a lot of cool artwork going on. Genesis of Perdition from Monotheist. Highly recommend that one. Next up is a band you might have heard of. They're called Brutality. They're from Florida, as you know, and last year they put out an EP called Ruins of Humans, and here's the cover art for that one. Pretty awesome. The back of the booklet shows the guys, and as you can see, if you know, this is the original lineup from the first full-length, Screams of Anguish. And this was recorded at Morris Sound Studios with the famed Jim Morris, and it sounds like it could be on that first record. That's how heavy and brutal it is. Yeah, original lineup, great riffs, awesome solos. I saw them post on Facebook that they said for their full length they're going to take their time and make it exactly how they want it, not have any deadlines, but I hope they don't turn into perfectionists and never put anything out. But I don't think they will. I think we might be able to look forward to something for them by the end of 2014. So great news out of the Brutality camp. One final band I have for you. They're called Disfigurement. Here's their EP. It's called Soul Rot, and you can tell right away from the artwork on there what you're going to get. Now they don't really fall into any one category of death metal like old school Swedish sound or any of those things. They kind of have their own sound. They don't have the dry production that 90s death metal had, but I would call them, their sound is current but not modern, if you know what I mean. So really deep growls, fast chaotic riffs for the most part, really good production. This was out on Boris Records last year. They're from Atlanta as well, if I believe correctly. And we have 5 tracks on here. Can't really see them, but yeah, inside the EP you can go, there's a web link to download some bonus tracks, some live tracks. So this one's really good. Disfigurement, Soul Rot on Boris Records. So that was a quick video, just some good death metal albums I want to show you guys. So until next time, spread the word of true metal.